What if I told you that there's a war happening right now but you can't see it? A war that doesn't take place on the ground, in the air, or at sea, but in the vast, invisible landscape of the digital world. This is cyber warfare, a silent and unseen conflict that's shaping our modern geopolitical landscape. In this realm, nations don't clash with tanks and soldiers, but with codes and algorithms. It's a clandestine battlefield where countries launch attacks not with bullets, but with bits and bytes. The objective isn't to capture territory, but to disrupt, compromise, and control digital infrastructures. From undermining critical systems to stealing confidential data, these invisible skirmishes have the potential to bring countries to their knees without a single shot being fired. It's a game of shadows and deception, where the enemy is often unknown and the impact, although unseen, can be devastating. This is the invisible battlefield of our time, cyber warfare. To understand the gravity of this silent war, we must first delve into its history. Cyber warfare, as we know it today, had humble beginnings. It emerged from the shadows of the Cold War era, a time when nations were exploring new frontiers of conflict beyond traditional warfare. The first known instance of digital conflict can be traced back to the late 70s, when an innocuous computer worm made its debut. Fast forward to the early 2000s, cyber warfare took a significant leap with the discovery of Stuxnet, a malicious computer worm, marking a new era of digital conflict. From there, the landscape of cyber warfare has continued to evolve at a staggering pace. With every passing year, the tactics become more sophisticated, the attacks more audacious, and the implications more profound. And thus, the era of cyber warfare was ushered in, forever altering the way nations engage in conflict and how we perceive security in the digital age. So who are the puppeteers that pull the strings behind these digital assaults? These unseen puppeteers are often nation-state actors, operating on behalf of governments with complex geopolitical motives. Their tactics are as diverse as their objectives, ranging from straightforward hacking to sophisticated malware attacks, disinformation campaigns, and espionage. Take, for instance, countries like Russia, China, and North Korea. They have been linked to some of the most high-profile cyber attacks in history. Russia, for instance, is often associated with disinformation campaigns aimed at destabilizing democratic processes. China is accused of industrial espionage, stealing trade secrets to gain a competitive edge. North Korea, on the other hand, has been implicated in cyber heists, targeting financial institutions to shore up its economy. These are just a few examples. There are countless other players, each with their own agendas and tactics. They operate in the shadows, but their actions have very real and often devastating consequences. In response to these threats, nations are now engaged in a new kind of arms race. This isn't about tanks, jets, or missiles, but rather about firewalls, encryption, and intrusion detection systems. In this digital battlefield, nations are fortifying their defenses, developing advanced cybersecurity protocols to shield their critical infrastructures. Cybersecurity has become a top priority for governments around the world. They're investing billions in securing their digital borders, and they're recruiting the brightest minds in tech to build and maintain these defenses. But it's a constant game of cat and mouse, with hackers always finding new vulnerabilities. And it's not just about defense. Nations are also building their offensive capabilities, creating elite cyber units capable of carrying out precision strikes on enemy networks. These digital soldiers are trained in the art of cyber warfare, mastering the tactics of hacking, malware deployment, and disinformation campaigns. But defense is just one part of the equation. As we venture further into the digital battlefield, we encounter murky legal and ethical waters. Cyber warfare operates in a gray zone of international law, where the rules of engagement are not clearly defined. Unlike traditional warfare, cyber attacks often leave no physical evidence, making it difficult to ascertain who is responsible and to what extent. The ethical implications are equally complex. State-sponsored cyber activities can disrupt essential services, violate privacy rights, and even potentially lead to loss of life, all without a single bullet fired. Yet, these actions often go unpunished due to the difficulties in attributing blame and the lack of clear legal frameworks to address such issues. International law is still grappling with these challenges. The United Nations, for example, is working on establishing norms for responsible state behavior in cyberspace. But these efforts are still in their infancy, struggling to keep pace with the rapidly evolving digital landscape. This leaves us with many unanswered questions about accountability and justice in the digital realm. But it's not just nations and corporations that bear the brunt of these digital assaults. The collateral damage of cyber warfare often ripples out, impacting everyday civilians. In a world where our lives are increasingly digitized, from our personal data to our critical infrastructure, we are all potential casualties in this invisible battlefield. Imagine waking up one day to find your city's power grid has been compromised, leaving you without electricity. Or your personal data, from social security numbers to bank details, stolen and sold on the dark web. These scenarios are not far-fetched plots from a dystopian novel. They are real threats in the era of cyber warfare, where civilians often bear the brunt of the fallout from these digital skirmishes. But the future of cyber warfare is not set in stone. It's a landscape that is continually evolving, driven by technological advancements and the escalating nature of digital conflicts. Artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and blockchain technologies are not just buzzwords. They have the potential to both empower and disrupt cyber warfare tactics. The future may see AI-driven cyberattacks that are faster and more sophisticated than anything we've seen so far. Quantum computing could render current encryption methods obsolete, opening up a new battlefield for cyber warriors. On the other hand, blockchain technology could offer new ways to secure our data and systems, potentially transforming the way we defend against cyber threats. Yet with every advancement, the stakes get higher. The escalation of cyber warfare could lead to a digital arms race, where countries vie for supremacy in this new battleground. The consequences of such a race could be far-reaching, with the potential to destabilize global security and disrupt everyday life on an unprecedented scale. As we stand on the precipice of this new era, we must ask ourselves, are we ready for what's to come in the world of cyber warfare?